Assistant Professor Mona Maghanoy from the UP College of Human Kinetics specializes in clinical psychology. She is also a part of the Future Leader program by the Foundation of the Global Community Health, an international organization that promotes the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. She is now actively involved in SIPA in COVID, an initiative of the UP College of Human Kinetics in promoting physical activity at pandemic times.
Today, I'm going to share with you a little bit about dancing to well-being, and why it's a good activity to keep your health physically and psychologically. Now, as we know, when it comes to physical activity and exercise, all researchers point to the fact that this is helpful for our health, mentally and psychologically. And here I have a slide pointing out the benefits of physical activity. It says here these are for adults and older adults, but we do know that when it comes to physical activity, all ages benefit from engaging in exercise and moving all the time. Okay. So this slide shows us that it lowers the risks of diseases, and it also has positive effects with regards to our mental health. Okay. Now, because it is well known that physical activity is beneficial, groups that are concerned with promoting health and wellness came up with the physical activity pyramid. We have here specifically one made by the Philippine Association for the Study of Overweight and Obesity, and it's the Filipino Pyramid Activity Guide. Let me just explain this a bit. No? At the bottom, you see that it's we have the bottom at the base of the pyramid. Day-to-day activities are prescribed, or what it says is that we should do more of this every day. This will determine our base fitness, so to speak. Now, on the second level, we have aerobic exercises. When you talk about exercise, it's a structured form of physical activity that has a plan, that has repetitions, that has frequency. Okay, and weights, for example. But for aerobic exercise, these are just the activities that you can engage in for a specific period of time with a specific intensity. You also have recreational activities along that level, which are the things that could probably be considered as your hobbies, like ballroom dancing, badminton, baseball, basketball, tennis, and even our Philippine games, Pico, Sipa, Patintero. Okay, up the pyramid, these are the things that we should do often: leisure activities and exercises for strength and flexibility, such as stretching, yoga, tai chi, and weights or resistance training. Okay. Now, what is dance? There are many definitions of dance, but this is one that I took. Dance is recognized as one of the oldest art forms. It allows you to express yourself, and for you as others are well to experience something. So it's experiential in nature. No? Dance is an art form that is displayed through the human body using the medium of movement. And dance has the power to communicate and evoke responses. Those who identify themselves as dancers, I believe, are very passionate when it comes to this definition and maintaining that it is an art. Okay, but of course, my expertise is not in art. I'm more inclined towards explaining the movement side of dance, because as it has been stated here, it is the art form that is played in the human body using the medium of movement. And movement, of course, is under our domain, being in the human movement sciences. Dancing, okay, aside from it being an art, is also a form of physical activity and exercise. And actually, it is one of the more recommended forms, because it has a unique feature that makes it more appealing to people. No? So dancing can be a way to stay fit for people of all ages, shapes, and sizes, because there are so many dance genres. It caters to preferences of a whole group, a whole different myriad of people who wish to become fit through this. Okay, it has a wide range of physical and mental benefits, which includes the following: improved condition of your heart and lungs because you use your cardiovascular system and respiratory system, increased muscular strength, endurance, and motor fitness. As you move your body, your muscles have to move. Okay, increased aerobic fitness. Okay, improve muscle tonus and strength. You're able to manage your weight. If you engage in dancing regularly, you have stronger bones and reduced risk of osteoporosis because you load your bones, and that stimulates bone development. Better coordination, agility, and flexibility as you execute the moves. Improve balance and spatial awareness as you choreograph, as you follow the choreography and you move in a space or in a stage. Aside from that, it also has the psychological benefits, including increased physical confidence. You feel good about how you move or how you look. Improve mental functioning, okay? Because the blood flow, of course, facilitates increased mental functioning when you are moving. Improve general and psychological well-being, and we'll get to that a little bit more. Greater self-confidence and self-esteem, and better social skills, especially if you choose to dance with a group of people on a regular basis. It says here, positive mind, positive vibes, positive life. There seems to be like a joy de vivre when you look at people who are engaged in dancing. And I believe that somehow mirrors, the effect of dancing on a person engaging in it. Okay. Aside, at that moment, and here, as you can see, long term, if you are continuously dancing. Now, dance, again, is not only an art, but it's a physical activity and exercise. And some people, however, are not inclined to dance. Maybe nahihiya sila, or they haven't discovered their inner dancer, or they feel that they are not very coordinated in moving, so they will hesitate to engage in dancing. Others would say that parang it's not the same as when you're running or when you're walking. It's not strenuous. It doesn't work you out. But actually, the workout that you get from dance depends on the type of dancing that you do, how long you do it. There are dances that are of moderate intensity, such as ballet. This is equivalent to brisk walking or water aerobics. Ballroom dancing is said to burn approximately 260 calories per hour, but this is dependent, of course, on the weight of the person who is engaging in ballroom dancing. Intense dancing, such as salsa or the aerobic dance, such as dance fitness or sometimes Zumba, is actually equivalent to jogging or swimming laps. And again, dependent on a person's weight and the intensity of exercise, it is said to burn until 500 kilocalories per hour. So these are some of the things that point to us that there's an equivalence. No? I also looked into what we call the METs, or what we call the metabolic equivalence. It's a measure of energy expenditure while engaging in an activity. The measure looks at how much oxygen you consume per kilogram of your body weight. And of course, the more oxygen you consume, the higher the metabolic equivalent. And for those people saying that it doesn't work me out as much, well, you can see here, it says here that you can even, go until 11.3 METs for ballroom dancing or competitive dancing in general. For aerobic dancing, and if you wear weights, it can go up to 10 METs or metabolic equivalent. So imagine that's the amount of oxygen you consume per the kilogram of your body weight. Okay, so if you're 70 kilograms, for example, if your METs equivalent is 10, you consume. You look at it in how much oxygen you consume to maintain or engage in this activity. Okay, so again, this is from a compendium of physical activities in 2011. So I'm going to put that in because when you dance, dances are all usually classified based on what music that you're using, but not all the time because there are fusions. But dance and music are inseparable, I believe. Although there are times that when there's no music in a dance, like in a creative dance or maybe for artistic effect, but definitely a music or beat is important when you dance. And that being incorporated in movement, music has been proven to have a big effect on mental health. Now, it has been found, there's also a dearth of evidence saying that music has an effect on your brain. Okay, and here in this illustration, what these are the brain areas that are activated or are affected by listening to music. So you have your corpus callosum, which connects the left side or the right side of the brain. So that's your creative side and maybe the analytical side. You have your motor cortex in terms of movement while dancing or playing an instrument. Prefrontal cortex, which involves behavior, expression, and decision making. Your amygdala, which has something to do with your emotions. Sensory cortex, about receiving information from the environment. Auditory cortex, about how sounds affect you. Your hippocampus, related to memories. Your visual cortex, looking at somebody who is dancing, okay, or following that person with your eyes. And your cerebellum, which has something to do with emotional reactions and I believe even with balance. So when you listen to music and then you incorporate it with moving while dancing, all these areas of the brain are engaged. And that's good for mental functioning, right? For continued mental wellness, because not all the brain areas are stimulated, okay, and blood flows through them, etc., etc. Now, sorry about this, but this is music and well-being. No? Research shows that music can have a beneficial effect on brain chemicals, also such as dopamine, which is linked to feelings of pleasure, and oxytocin, the so-called love hormone. And then there's moderate evidence that music can help lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Now, again, like I said, there's a dearth of research on the music's positive effect on emotional well-being, including improving mood, decreasing anxiety, and managing stress. Here is just a simple illustration, as you can see here, how the music's effect on the brain. Music influences perception of effort and makes us forget we're tired. Listening to music releases dopamine in the brain. It improves sleep and relaxation. It creates a feeling of well-being and positive emotions. And background music stimulates creativity. Now, if you are not sure if this is real or if you've experienced it, just think about the time when you are down and suddenly you put on the music and you hear something that actually brings you back to your childhood, and that gives you positive emotion. Unequivocally, as much as physical activity has a positive effect on health, music also has that positive effect on our well-being. So you have dance, you have music, both of these things having these positive effects, and when you put them together, really, it enhances these benefits that we get. With good music and good dance, you enhance your physical, emotional, and spiritual and mental well-being. So here's just one study, a result of one study by Campion and Levita in 2013, which showed that dancing and listening to music have been found to enhance positive affect and reduce negative affect. Okay, sorry, that was like a typo. But see the colors here: dancing, music, cycling, and just being quiet. As you can see, the red and the blue. Red representing music, blue representing dancing. They have the bigger changes, okay, in terms of positive affect and negative affect. So definitely dance and music put together give us positive outcomes when it comes to well-being. All right. So, as you can see, that you can imagine how much energy expenditure is involved in engaging in dance as a sport at a competitive level. So, thinking about it in terms of well-being, you also look at the benefits of engaging in dance as a sport, and that has its own set of positive outcomes in terms of psychological health, like a sense of competence, sense of accomplishment, increased self esteem. All right, and all the other outcomes that will lead to an increase, of an increase in a better self concept, congruence of yourself with your identity as a dancer, and all those things. So, will so dance definitely, from what I have shown you, is something that is very much a part of getting to a place where you have all these aspects of well-being coming together. And in a nutshell, no, if we look at uh, a healthy mind and a healthy body, and especially that we are Filipinos with love of music and movement embodied. Dancing definitely is our way to well-being, and making sure that we have mensana in corpore sano, or a sound mind in a sound body. So that's it for me. I hope you learned something today. Again, I'm Mona Adviento Macanay from the College of Human Kinetics, also affiliated with the Sports and Exercise Psychology Special Interest Group of the Psychological Association of the Philippines. So thank you very much for listening.